пишется. Say hello to the karate community, and we wait for 5 more minutes for people to connect, and then we start. Hello. Народ начинает подключаться потихонечку. I wasn't able to put my laptop because of low signal, so I try to do it with my phone. Давай пока кота сделаю. So, while we're waiting for other participants, сделай какой кота. Какой? Say some.
Say some.
So, how was this? How the sound? How the video? Is it okay? Can you give us a backup? Do you hear us clearly? Oh yes, thank you. Что, начинаем? So I think it's time to start. Давайте поприветствуем тогда друг друга. We greet you on the first seminar about Okinawan Karate. My name is Pavel Demyanov and this is Anton Delver. English is our second language, so we try our best so you can understand us. Today we talk about Goju-Ryu. It's an Okinawan style. The name itself means the hard and soft style, or hardness and softness style. There are many schools and lineages of Goju-Ryu, and we represent the lineage of Yagi Meitoku sensei. So we will show what we do. There are many opinions on some actions. There are many different features in some schools of Goju-Ryu, but we'll present you our school. First, we want to say some words about the name. So name represents that the style has two sides. One of this is hard side and another is soft. It's not easy to understand while you don't know the kata named Sanchin. Sanchin means rebuttal, and it incorporates the basics and or kihon of our style. Now we'll demonstrate you this kata, and then I say some words about the reasons why we do this kata. Сделай kata чуть-чуть назад, не торопясь. Sanchin. Kata includes body tension of muscles, breathing and movement, and all together it is like free battle. One can say one battle is the form, the second battle is muscle tension, and the third one is breathing methods. So just look at it and then we explain or try to say something about it. So, as you can see, there's a. I slapped his body because we correct the form, and we should check if his muscles are tensed. The one important thing is that the power of punch don't get to your organs, internal organs. So if your muscle is powerful enough and tensed, it's like an armor against the punch. So in Goju-Ryu, we take some punches on our body. Some styles mostly evade the punches. And in Goju-Ryu we can maybe, например, бьешь меня, да? Не сильно. И вот он идет. If I tense my muscles, maybe I should get to him and make something against him. So we don't need to block every punch. And maybe, слева, чтобы было видно, I could, like, уйдет удар, такой, have received the punch, but maybe change some direction of the punch. In this case, I only have some, I don't get any damage. So the sanchin is a method that teaches our body how to tense muscles and how to go from relaxed stance to tension stance, like from soft to hard. When we are hard, we can't be mobile. We can't move fast. But when there is a point of contact, I mean, for example, punch and block. If he punches, просто руку дай. And in the end of the punch, he should tense the muscles to get all of his body to do the punch. And when I block, I do the same. I don't do the block in a relaxed way. I tense my body. And maybe this is distinguishing feature from some different styles which maybe more closer to Shorin-ryu. I'm not expert in Shorin-ryu, by the way, and don't be insulted, but I think that some blocks have long charge maybe, and in Goju-Ryu sometimes we block like just a short move, or the punch itself the same. You can punch with our body, and Sanchin Kata teaches us that. One more detail that many schools do very over tensed stance, so only hard. It can be not very good for your vein system, blood pressure. It can lead to some insults or heart attack. So in our school, we relaxed. I tense my body only at the end of the move. When I charge the punch, I'm relaxed. When I push my hand, I'm a little bit tensed. And in the end, I totally tensed, but maybe for 1 second. And that goes to whole our body, not only the arm, but it starts from the legs, waist, back, and everything. I know that some people are now on lockdown, so they can't go out, they can't go train, and I want to give you some exercises so people can train at home by themselves, maybe even alone. And while we do sanchin kata, we do the moves, and I don't think that many people need to learn this kata, but to learn the basics of this kata maybe would be good for any karateka. So now, if you can, please try. Just stand and try to squeeze your fingers on the feet, and then relax. Again, squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Then try to add the muscles of the legs and relax. Then try to add your hips and buttocks, and you feel that and relax. When you tense your body on this part, automatically have some tension in your abs. So now try to get more abs. Then try to put your shoulders down. Again, breathe in, breathe out, and squeeze it. Breathe in, out, squeeze it. Now try to tense your arms all together. Breathe in, breathe out, and try not to put your head forward. It's like this point should direct up. As my sensei says, when you stand in sanchin kata, he say mimi, kata, push, masugu, means like your ear, shoulder, and your hip should be on one straight line. And try again. Breathe in, out, and tense all your body and relax. And that's how you teach your body how to get from the relaxed stance to hard stance. And after that, you could be able, by regular practice of sanchin kata, one could be able to switch with these stances very fast. So, for example, when we make a punch, we don't do it all tense. It will be too slow. We should go the first move with tense to get first impulse, first speed to your punch. Then you should make it relaxed, so it can be fast. And at the end, it's like a point where we tense our body like in sanchin kata. So next part of my thing is about relaxed stance, about the soft part of Goju-Ryu, which many people ignore. Of course, it should be hard and powerful, but without soft part, you can't be mobile, you can't move. If you return, you will be very slow, and the movements would be unnatural. So try. And by the way, all our kata starts from this, like I show you in sanchin, the first move, and then you start, or then you start another kata. So I made some plan for my about sanchin, and we can call it like standing sanchin. So it includes the same breathing and muscle tension, but on one point. You can do it at home. The next, what I wanted to say, what you can do at home, is like kake. I think that many schools have kake. Kake is like a sticky hands. Kakie, it can be kakie or kakete, kakidi. It all goes to sticky hands. For example, if I have a partner, we can push. So if you don't have a partner, try like these movements. Up like kouke and uroke, kouke and uroke, and do it with both hands, like fighting each other. So you can have this type of exercise that's similar to kake, because 1 and 2, but just with yourself. Maybe it will be helpful for your practice at home. The next exercise that I wanted to show is about kitai. I don't think that every school have the kitai, so I explain a little bit. To receive punches on our body in Goju-Ryu, we do kitai. Kitai means to forge in Japanese. And for example, the simple exercise like just punch our forearms. And again, we are relaxed, and in the end we squeeze our muscles, so we don't have damage to our muscles. And the same like hips, a little bit. So we forge our bodies to have the possibility to have a punch on our body without harm us. So if you have no partner at home, you can do it by yourself. For example, you don't need any device. Many people show some sticks or I don't know what, some rollers, but you just have your own arms. You are a karateka, so try to hit yourself. For example, blocking parts of your body. It should be conditioned. You can use shitouchi, tetsuchi, knuckles, anything, shoulders, this muscle, ups, buttocks, anything. Just the easiest way. You need nothing to do this. Oh, and you can do it at home, but please be safe. Don't hit yourself so hard, too hard. One moment. So, I think that there is no reason to show you some kata, because every style have its own katas, and we can't learn a new one in one hour. So we just make some notes on strategy of our style. For example, main stance of our style is sanchin dachi. Sanchin dachi. We have sanchin kata and sanchin dachi. So mostly it's about the legs position. It's about the shoulder width, and it's about one short step length. So it's very balanced position. We can move left, right, forward and back, and we can kick with both our legs. Again, what I say is from our school position. Different school may have different opinions. For example, when you're in Zenkutsudachi, so start forward, it's not easy to kick with your front kick. You should move back. But if you're in sanchin dachi, you can kick from any leg. Just shift the balance a little bit and you can kick front or rear leg and without any movements. Another thing is our arms. So this position of Sanchin Kata, but with open hands. And maybe a little bit Hanmi sometimes. Sometimes Hanmi is like turned a little bit. And Shomen is straight. Mostly we do it straight. And it's like our middle position of hands. From this position, on one hand, we like we say to the hooligan, please don't touch me. Please go away. But for real, I'm in my fighting position now. So from this, if you go up, I go up. If you go down, middle punch. If you go any punch. So it's like a middle position. From this, we can go this, that, inside, outside, and all these blocks from this position. And we like catch the hands. About the movements. Some schools do like a forward thrust. In Goju-Ryu we usually use Tsuyashi. Tsuyashi is like this. I don't know the word in English, I'm sorry. But so we switch from Sanchin position, Sanchin dachi, to the same Sanchin dachi position by doing a big step and short step to come again at this position. Maybe you will understand it, the people who play volleyball, because when we go back, it's like the same. So we don't do Zenkutsu dachi. We do Sanchin dachi when we attack. And we go back the same. Another thing of Goju, we always try to be face to face to our opponent. We don't show our legs because it's vulnerable. So if I go around, every time I must be front to my opponent. Then what comes to the strategy of the fight? Goju mostly use circular blocks. And again, here's the principle of hard and soft. We don't do power to power. For example, strike to strike. His energy of his punch goes forward. I don't stop it. I redirect it. Давай слева. Show it. And then, for example, straight punch. So, for my opinion, it's very logical. We do circular moves, not to fight energy, just to redirect. And then we go straight punch. Because I myself, I'm a physician. I mean, I do nuclear physics, and I know something about mechanics. That the best way to transfer the energy is perpendicular direction. So the most effective point is just the middle. If his body is straight, I punch just straight. If I go from the side, I punch straight. So soft block and hard punch. It can again go into soft is ju, softness, and go is hardness with punch. So another one thing, when we have different areas of the body. For example, I can block from inside or from outside. We call it like the same, outside block or inside block. When I go inside, I face another hand. So it's maybe more dangerous than if I go outside. I have some advancement for myself. In this position, it's easier for me to hit the vulnerable areas, and it's harder for my opponent to fight back. And again, I will do something. I will not wait. Another feature of Goju-Ryu style is the shifting. Some people call it, как это называется, я уже забыл. I forgot how they call it, but my sensei called tenshin. Ten means body, and ten means rotate, and shin means body. So it's like evasion. When we in sanchin dachi or heiko dachi, we can easily shift our body from the attacking line. For example, like this. And again, I'm in the same stance. For example, if my opponent wants to put a punch on me, I will try to shift with block and counter attack. So it's the way we do it in Goju style. Is again. So the same. If the distance rules the counteraction, if I like shift it not too far, I can punch. If I shift my body on a bigger, here's the distance for kick. I hope everybody understands my English. Now I would say some words about the fist and the kicking method of my school. When we do the fist, maybe, I don't know, just try to think about it. When you make the fist, where you put your thumb. If it's here, it's easy to injure your fist while you maybe missed something or some bad punch, so you can injure your limb here. So my way, I squeeze it here. And this way, my thumb and my middle finger squeezes my index finger, and the hitting part of my fist is here. But it can be here, the same. As you can see, my fist is strong, and I can hit with this knuckle. For example, like in some kata of Uechi-Ryu. It can be like this. It also can be these knuckles. So your fist becomes like any way you can punch from any direction. But if your finger is here, it can be better in this way. So it's just my way. When you hit, when you kick, I don't know what to use. Some people use this ball of the feet. Some people use fingers. So I try to show. I'm sorry. I like squeeze my fingers like a fist, not to injure my fingers. So when I hit something, it's always a danger of broken fingers. That's why I do it like this. Fingers up and squeeze it. Fingers up and squeeze it. And then you kick. In Japanese, it's Tsumasaki Geri. Tsumasaki Geri is like a kick with the tips of your fingers. Or, for example, you can use this just Maegeri. It's dangerous, very dangerous when you hit the groin. You can always turn your feet a little bit, turn your foot. And this way, it can be point strikes to these vulnerable and painful areas. For example, чуть-чуть, and this. Or maybe if your opponent is to the side to you. You can't make a my game, but you can a little bit turn your foot, and the kick will be to have the goal, to take the goal. So about strike, we strike. I show you my fist and my kick method. Another kicking method of Goju-Ryu is soku-to-geri. In this way, we use soku means a foot, and geri soku-to. To means katana, a knife. So we use like a foot knife strike, soku-to-geri. When we, for example, want to fight a knee, on the hit a knee, we use soku-to-geri. It goes up and down at the angle of 45 approximately. And again, the method is, for example, attacker doing the punch, we shift, and from this position I can make soku-to-geri. I can throw an opponent down or just hit the knee and hit again. We don't need to finish every technique with a throw. Why? If we had, if we get some, put some groin strike and strike to the head. For example, if you use makiwara, it's a strong punch. One punch is enough, and maybe one punch, two punch, throw, then hit on the opponent, and again some punches is too much. So what's next? About the strategy. Again, circular blocks. Давай с этой руки, чтобы туда мы были. Shift the body. Protect from the punch, counter-attack, and we grab by the clothes or hands. Because when you grab the opponent, for example, I grab him, he wants to go away. He wants to uйти. But I don't give him this opportunity. So the meaning of hikite in Goju-Ryu, it's like hikite and tsukite. Hiku means to pull in Japanese. Tsuku means to punch. So the pulling hand in the same moment with the punching hand. Another reason for hikite. For example, he wants to hit my ribs, very painful area, and I want to protect myself. Вот ты бьешь меня сюда, and when I try to block myself with my elbow. But if he throws, hikite, да? I can't do this. So it's another way, another reason why we do hikite. Because I heard maybe many people try to explain hikite like it gives some power to a strike, but they can't explain how. For my opinion, maybe they don't understand that it can be pulling hand. So it's not about the striking power, it's about the delivery of strike. One hand pulls, another and open the vulnerable area. Another hand is punches. It can be here. No, doesn't matter. So we talk about punch, about block, about kick. So some more words about blocking. For example, uke. We all, the people who understand English, they call it a block. But block is like some obstacle. In Japanese, uke or ukeru translates like to receive. We can receive punch like a block, or we can receive a punch like redirecting. And also, it's not a block, but it's uke. Or we can I can do it like this. It's also uke. Because I receive. How do I do it? It can be like in a hard way or in a soft way. Anyway, it's uke. And about kicking. So just maigiri. We go raise our knee, then we kick and we pull it back. Because if I won't pull back my leg and step, my opponent could make ashibarai, a leg sweep, and I fall down. In this case, I kick, then I go like on a paper white over the ground. So I don't know, can you see my legs now? My feet. We move stepping method of Goju-Ryu, not jumping, not stomping. It's about slight moves over the ground, like shifting moves. I would say shifting method. In this case, I always like have connection to the ground, but I don't need to sweep the ground. I move over the ground without touching it, but also without stopping. And one more about delivering your power to your opponent. For example, if you jump and much of energy go down to the ground, but if you go like in the shifting method, all your energy go forward, and in the end of the move, in the middle, I need some initial speed. I need to tense my muscles to make initial thrust. Then I relax, so my movements should be fast and fluid. And in the very end, I should squeeze my body again. And again we go to Sanchin Kata, about hardness and softness. And when in the end I deliver all my power forward to my opponent, not to giving it to the ground. For example, this in kata we stomp, but we show two techniques. One technique is tetsuichi, another technique is sokutoge, for example, to the fingers. But if we do it separately, I don't need to stomp. I need to... Можешь это сделать, да? Send all my power to the head, not to the ground. So maybe people should think about this. Some movements we do in the same time in kata, but if you make it separately, separate the bunkai, you should practice it like every single bunkai, maybe not all together. What's next? I'm sorry, I make some notes. So while we go to bunkai, in our style, bunkai is analysis of kata. We try to understand the moves of the kata. What does it mean? Historically, it happened that we have no notes on what move of kata means something. It's just moves, just a pattern of moving. And sometimes one move can be a punch, or block can be a punch. For example, upper strike, upper block. Yes, sure. Of course, it can be strike with your forearm if you're in a close combat. So I wanted to show you some keys to the understanding of kata. For example, in many kata, Goju-Ryu, we have open hand. When we have open hand, I think of pulling, grabbing, or pulling a hand or something like this. Even this move, it can be like grab. So, for example, in Goju-Ryu, as I saw, they transparent move. When they catch in kata. In Goju-Ryu, maybe we just show something like this. So the techniques are hidden somehow. So people should think, or this way, for example, it's grab and then punch. Here, for example, if we do this move of Seiyuchin kata, it can be something like this. It's like very painful technique. And then again, pulling hand, pushing hand, or striking hand. Another key. So first key is a palm. If we see a palm, imagine that you catch or pull or push, catch and push. Another key is nekoashidachi. When you see nekoashidachi, imagine that you pulling someone. Because I wouldn't stay on one leg if I fight something. It's not very comfortable. I have no balance. But if I protect myself, then pull my opponent. Here we see nekoashi. Imagine a strike, a kicking technique after that. So many kata, in the end they have something like this. So imagine that you pulling your opponent and then strike. The next thing is the level of the kicks. I'm sorry, it's maybe not so structured. My today's webinar is not so structured because we have no theme. It's like all-together review of Goju-Ryu, but maybe it's hard to put it in 1 hour. If there will be another seminars, we should make some theme. For example, we'll talk about kicking techniques or about pushing hands, pulling hands. But now my today's report is not so structured. Так, что я хотел сказать? Про ладонью. So palm, kick. So maybe we should show some pair work for the person who have a partner now. You should try this. But if you watch it alone, maybe you make some notes and try it later. For example, in our school we have a standard set of techniques which were created by Yagi Sensei. We call it Nihon Kumite. Nihon, it's not like Japan. Ni is two and hon is hon. So defense against two strikes. We show it and try to explain a little bit. First, for example, it goes double strike, Jodan Jodan, two upper strike on one step. First, how should I prepare myself? I don't show my intention to fight, but I'm ready to fight, and I'm like a spring. Bend your knees a little bit, push your thumbs on your legs, so you can jump anytime in any direction. And then, when the attacker goes, 2 blocks, and from this it goes 2 blocks, and then urauch or uraken uch without pulling your arm back. We show it in slow motion. Here I use all my body, like in Sanchin, to deliver a strike. Again, Jodan, Jodan, Uraken, Urauch. Да. So here, for example, this punch maybe looks not so powerful, but it's not like that. I don't know, can you see me now? Well, it's pretty powerful strike, and especially if it goes to the face. The second move is very interesting for me because I only heard the name in Okinawa. In the old Okinawan language, it calls jichi, not tsuki. So first go upper and middle strike. Middle, up and the middle. I should block his hand. So I block in the same time I punch. It goes like this. And when I do this move, my arm is a little bit bent, like we do it in Sanchin kata. Can you hear it? Can you see it? It's like an arc. So in this way, my sensei called it Miji Nagashi Jichi. It translates like this move of flowing water. Or again, it goes 1, 2, and you don't think about the block. You should think about the ribs, how to get to the ribs. We'll skip the Jodan Gedan. Go to next level. Chudan, middle level. Can be again Chudan Jodan. First middle. Chudan Jodan. We call it solar plexus, and the Japanese call it suigetsu. Suigetsu, it's a solar plexus. So here we see these methods. If we go up, then open and go down. And if we go opposite, don't strike like in the same level. It's very good for fighting strategy if you switch the levels. For example, if I kick, my opponent's attention goes down. After that I should go up. So down, up, middle, again. So people maybe lose his attention and will be successful in our attack. So keep the same principle. Go Chudan Jodan. Chudan Jodan solar plexus. The next is Chudan Chudan. If we go 2 punches. In this way we go to throat. Another striking method, it can be Hiraken. Hiraken is like a flat fist. To use this, you should train this on Makiwara. If your fingers are not ready, then don't use it. Or you can only show off with the kata. If you don't practice it in Makiwara, you never use it. For example, like here, if you want to use Hiraken, you should use Hiraken. No, Chudan is done. Chudan, then it goes to the throat. And again, the move should be fluent. You don't need to be over tensed. It should be like hook and back. So in this way your punch will be fast and powerful. Now, I would make some breaks to explain something that comes to my mind. For example, again about softness. So if you, for example, we have uratsuki. Urotsuki is a punch from the short distance, for example, in the stomach or maybe kidneys, if you're at the side of your opponent. And I saw some people, they doing this and then stop the hand. I don't see a sense in it. For example, if I want to strike him, I pull my energy to the strike and then I pull my energy to stop my hand. It's no sense. So it's nothing. No energy transmitted. Instead, you should lose your hand. I mean, first initial impulse and then you lose your hand so it go forth and back. In this way, all your energy will be transmitted. So first, no strike. The second, I will not hit him hard, just to show. He feels that energy goes. If I make it a little bit faster, it will be pain, and it goes to internal organs. So that's what I think about the punch. It should be penetrative. So it shouldn't be here. It should be there. Any punch. The next technique is Chudan Gedan. Let's try Chudan Gedan. For example, 2 steps. First step goes Chudan, slow. Then goes Gedan. And here we go the catch. It can be like this. And then Shuto is a knife hand strike. I'm sorry. This. So again, Chudan, Gedan, Chudan, Gedan. Then we go to the neck. Next one goes low level, Gedan. It starts from Shikodachi, then Jodan. Shikodachi and then Utsudachi. And I do the same. So first we show Shikodachi, then he wants to punch me. Here I go up and the elbow strike to the ribs. Again, it's my opinion that what you use in Gedan, you can use it in Chudan. So if you know the Gedan, Chudan, Jodan, the same. Chudan, Jodan, and here. It's like you don't need to be here. And if you work against the low attacks, imagine a kick. Not like this, it's like not very logical in modern world. But kick is okay. Так, ну что еще показать такого? We have some 10 minutes. Maybe I want to show you some techniques with grabbing. I like this. And you should investigate these techniques by yourself, because it's hard to explain how to do it if you don't try. For I show every limb. When you search for techniques in kata, you should know that every limb has these limits of movement. For example, our hand can go up and down, here and there, and rotate in both directions. When there is a limit of the movement, it comes to the technique. For example, I go up, I go down, one, another. So it's like this. Try to investigate the techniques by yourself. When you do the kata, you should know that there is no just a move. in kata. Every move means something, but you should think about it and look for the answer. So maybe, I don't know, some more about these techniques. So today we talk about sanchin kata, about hardness and softness. We talk about how to move. Because if you are too hard, you can't move. If you should lose your body, and in the ending points of your moves should be all body tension, like in sanchin kata. It's about soft. Oh yes, again, I would recommend you some kote kitaya, not just by standing and hitting your arms. Now we will move, and this incorporates kote kitaya and movement. That's what I learned from my sensei, kote kitaya. We go to kodachi, it also conditioning of our hips, and we go eyes and groin, eyes and groin. Then senpai or sensei say, hey, make wash. Then with our backs, we rotate and again kodachi. Hey. So it's like a square. Can you see the tatami? A square. Kodachi. 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 I not only studied Goju-Ryu, I also studied Uechi-Ryu and Ton-Ryu. Many of you know from books about the Ton-Ryu, but unfortunately I can't show you something from Ton-Ryu because it's the rule of the school, the videos are forbidden. But it's not forbidden to teach. I can teach, and I hope that soon borders will be opened and we can get together and train together, and then we can see some Ton-Ryu, because it's not secret style, it's not like only for Japanese or something like this. We can't do the videos because it's a tradition of the school. They don't want to be to see bad copies of kata, which some people can, some charlatans can do. Just learn from the video in a bad way, teach the students, and it all leads to degradation. So I think for us it's time to say goodbye. It is my first experience of webinar in English, so I'm sorry if something was not so good, but maybe next time we try to raise our level, and if there will be some theme of the seminar, it would be better, because we can do it in more details, not like from all the parts, and like they're connected but not so structured. So thank you very much. I would be happy to have some already feedback. If you have any questions, you can always write me. Maybe my writing English is better than my oral. Thank you very much.